next gal that I'm going to bring on the screen, gal, listen to me. So her name is Bethany, and wait till you hear a little bit about Bethany, because it's very inspiring that not only was she a small business owner for 12 years, okay? So where are you at if you're a business owner? You're a realtor, you own a mortgage, a mortgage firm, you're whatever it is that you have a restaurant, you do nails, you own a nail salon, you're doing eyelashes, crazy, right? So she prior to that was a stay-at-home mom for 1 year prior to that. But prior to that, she was a pilot in the military. So how awesome. Her name is Bethany. Listen to this. So she is a director 2, like we talked about. That's the business side of our comp plan. But she's also a platinum 2 on the customer side. You don't have to build a team here if you don't want to, and you can still make an amazing income. So what that means is director 2 means that she had 50,000 in 1 month coming from her organization. Pretty freaking incredible, right? And coming as a platinum 2, her total points were 7,000 she sold in customer points. So Bethany, bring yourself up, unmute yourself, and I can't wait to hear what's working for you versus when you first got started in the industry back. You'll let us know when that was, and a little bit about your backstory and how you got started and landed home where you are now.
Oh my gosh. Hi. Can you hear me? First of all.
I can.
All right. Awesome. So, a little bit like what Michelle said. Yes, I was a pilot. I was a reconnaissance pilot in the military, but I was diagnosed with Meniere's disease. It's an inner ear disorder. And I knew I didn't want to continue. So I focused on building a family, having kids. And so I told my husband, I'm ready for you to be the breadwinner. So then that was the 1 year that I was a stay-at-home mom. When we now live in New Mexico, and it was kind of like, is this it? For me, it wasn't enough, and it's okay if that's totally enough for you. But I knew I needed more. I needed more connections with other women, and I needed to contribute financially to the family. So that's when I started dabbling in network marketing, and I started in various companies, like a lot of you probably have done. And I never really got traction. I saw the vision, but I never could build or grow until Modere. But in amongst doing all those different network marketing companies, or businesses, I did pursue a small business, which I still have. I'm no longer managing and running it day to day. I have a manager on board, but it is a housekeeping business. And yeah, it's still active, live and well. So I'm happy to say that. But I got in touch with Modere and everything changed. The systems were so much different than I'd ever seen before. The people were so much different. Like people on other teams that don't benefit from you financially, they are willing to help here. And it's amazing. We have like so many leading industry leaders in Modere. So that was in and of itself not a big red flag, but a big green flag for me. I'm like, this must be a hot place to be. So I was really happy where I was at. I grew to director 2, platinum 2, and that was amazing. That's bringing in some good money, you guys. And I've earned a few trips, so that's been awesome as well. But then I did, in 2022, the economy started changing a little bit, and it started becoming harder to produce that same kind of income that I was used to doing the same things. So I thought to myself, a little bit like Kathy, I'm going to dabble in this digital marketing world. So while I was still using, and I loved Modere products, I promoted it more on the side. It wasn't my main focus. I was focused on digital marketing and learning that business. And while I had a little bit of success, it wasn't like wildly successful. And so I kept like spinning my wheels, like, what am I going to do? And then I think the best thing happened is my leader here in Modere left. I was placed under Michelle, and she has been a phenomenal leader. She has taught me so much, and it's a different way of teaching than I had been taught previously. So just a few things I want to say for anyone that is brand new in Modere is you need to plug in. Okay, like you have to make it a commitment, because if you don't make it a priority, if you don't find time, you make the time. And if you can't make time for your goals, you really don't actually want to hit those goals. So you've got to pick 1 or 2 trainings a week to plug into. So for our team trainings, I actually can't be on them live. So what I do is I make time every night to watch those replays every night of the week that, that team training is happening. So I'm on those replays, I'm taking my notes, I'm doing the power hour, whatever it is that Michelle is teaching, I'm consuming and I'm learning, and I'm trying to implement something new every week. So she puts a lot of good information out every single week, but I can't consume all that in one sitting. So I have to pick 1 or 2 things to implement that week. And then the next week I add to it. So that's what you need to do, is make training a priority. Typically your elite leader is going to be a phenomenal trainer. So,
and Bethany, a good thing to say, like, that's a great point. While you're driving, right? Like, what are people's commute to work? What is people's commute home from work? Like, put something to remind you you're never going to. I buy courses from mentors all the time to pour into myself thousands and thousands of dollars. Well, if you don't do anything with it, it's dumb. So
yeah,
I'll put a sticky note on there, get in my car, oh crap, put it on, and instead of listening to the radio like Kathy does. So people can realize they can do that. And if they don't have an upline, they have what? John Melton, who does trainings 5 days a week for all of us. They
yeah.
have other people. So I just wanted to, sorry to cut you off. I just wanted to say that's a great point.
Yeah, that's awesome. So another thing that we have at our fingertips, and it's free, is ChatGPT. Ever since getting in network marketing, I had that vision. I just couldn't make those connections. And I was always taught this is a relationship building business. And I'm like, people like me and I like people. Why can't I build relationships better? Well, ChatGPT helps in this. And Michelle has taught us this, is like, you literally can just plug into ChatGPT what somebody said to you and ask ChatGPT, how can I respond in a kind manner that, can pivot this, or however you want the direction of that conversation to go, and it'll spit something out. If you don't like what ChatGPT said, respond to it and say, can you tweak the ending of this or whatever. So I'm literally just scratching the surface on ChatGPT. There's so much more to it. So I'm really excited about that. And then be willing to do the thing before you're ready, because we all start at suck, right? Kind of what Kathy was talking about. I am really thirsty. Give me a second. Oh my gosh. Okay. So we all start at suck, and that's okay. You have to be willing to be a beginner before you become an expert, or before you become excellent. So there's lessons to be learned in making these mistakes as a beginner. So if you do a live or do a reel, and maybe you forgot that hook, like Kathy was talking about, you're like, shoot, well, the next time you're going to remember to put that hook on your reel. And then if you go live, you can rewatch your live and critique it and see the areas where you need improvement. So there are lessons to be learned in making mistakes. I mean, that's how people get successful, is they use their mistakes as stepping stones to constantly improve and get better. And the reason why we want to start before we feel ready is because we're way more relatable to people when we're making mistakes, and we're not polished and we're not perfect. So we need to be able to show these people how we can still run a business brand new. We're plugging them into 3-way chats with our upline. We are using the tools. It's super easy and duplicatable to do that, and to show people that's, how a beginner starts. And that's okay. We do not ever have to be the expert. That's why we have tools. So another point on that is, it literally took me a full year of studying the comp plan to understand the comp plan, because our comp plan is so much different than other network marketing businesses' comp plans. I had it on my computer screen for a whole year. And then I would just kind of study it. You know, I'd hit a rank and then I'd go study it some more. I'd hit a different like builder rank. I'd study it a little more. Like, what am I gaining with this rank? And what do I need to do to make the next rank? So studying it is totally fine. Not knowing everything up front is normal. Okay. And the last thing, I did take some notes on this. So having an accountability partner, or like last week, Jen Cooper was talking about power partners, right? That is so key to success. Not, you know, Kathy just talked about how she's a self-starter. Not everybody is a self-starter and can be gritty and can be, what was the word that she used? Stubborn, right? Not everybody is like that. And that's okay. You don't have to be successful. Just connect with somebody that's similar to what you are, who wants the same results that you want. And you both like cheer each other on and boost each other up, keep each other held accountable. Having an accountability partner, you do not have to have a person that's on your team, excuse me, but it has to be somebody who is highly motivated. Here are the notes that I took. If you have an idea or a goal, you are just 10%, you're 10% more likely to be successful. If you consciously decide that you'll do that thing or goal, you'll be 25% more successful. Deciding when you'll do that thing or goal, you'll be 40% more successful. Committing to someone that you'll do it, like getting an accountability partner and sharing what your idea or goal is, you're going to be 65% more successful. And then the top one is having specific accountability appointments, like continually checking in with your accountability partner. You're going to be 95% closer to being successful. So that's pretty empowering and exciting.
Oh my gosh, it's just fire. And you know what? Every one of these girls, you might just think, what natural. Oh, you know how nervous they were? We've been knowing we were going to do this for about 3 weeks, and every week it's, oh, I'm getting kind of nervous. We're nervous. Okay. So if you're looking at us and you're thinking, God, she's just a natural, I can't do this, you are so freaking wrong. But as a leader, I know that getting people out of their comfort zone, because I used to be the girl that literally would go last in class. And when I got up there, I was like, my name's Michelle, and I'm gonna talk to you. I'm like, I couldn't even tripping over my words. Literally, you could hear it in my voice. To now, how can I do what it is that I can do? By freaking doing it. And that's the thing about what this social retail is all about. And in Modere is we're on a personal development journey with a compensation plan attached to it. Like, do you want to be more positive? Do you want to be more coachable? Do you want to grow? You are the 5 people you're hanging out with. So even if who you're hanging out with in your business is not who you want to be, guess what? You have a decision today to say, I'm pouring myself into Bethany. I'm pouring myself into Michelle. I'm pouring myself into Kathy. I'm pouring myself into Christy. I'm pouring myself into John. You're one decision away from it. So, Bethany, you covered some awesome, amazing tips. I am so freaking proud of you and cannot wait to see your beautiful face in Houston on Wednesday or Thursday, whenever it is you're coming in. And I'm just so excited. So, thank you.